What's up everybody, my name is Wreck and Rob, and today I have a little bit of a different video for you. This isn't going to be gameplay, this isn't going to be tips or anything. This is going to be something that I feel like not a whole lot of people have really been talking about, and that's what, with the upcoming changes to the game, with RTA being added in a little over a month, what does that actually mean for the game? For any new players who haven't really played a gacha game or, a mobile game like this might be very different. You may have never experienced something like RTA. I come from Summoner's War, so I got to experience RTA at least for, about a year, and I can kind of speak on a little bit of what it is. Feel free to chime in the comments down below. Let me know if there's anything that you think I get wrong, anything that you think I'm definitely right on, and things that you're just not sure on. My first prediction is a massive change in the community. I think you're going to see a lot more interactive community because you have a more interactive style of gameplay. Rather than just going into arena and fighting a static team that someone has chosen to put there, you're going head to head with another player every time you open up RTA. I think that's going to make a massive difference in how we kind of interact with each other and how the Discord community just completely changes. The biggest thing I think that's going to happen with the community is the level of creator content that you're going to be getting. I think that RTA is going to allow us to have a much larger live streaming presence, especially on Twitch, because most people, when they go to Twitch, they expect to see something eye-grabbing. They expect to see something that they can't see somewhere else. And if you wanted to watch someone farm Calibria, you could just do it yourself. You could just open your phone and do it, which most people are doing. I mean, our top streamers right now are only streaming to crowds of 30 at a time, and even then, what are they really doing? Occasionally they'll farm arena, but a lot of the times what they're doing is sitting there refreshing lair, which is great. Farming lair is great, but it doesn't make for the most fun content to watch. I think adding RTA is always also going to open up the ability for us to make more videos on heroes as people want to see how well they work in RTA, what kind of comps we can build with them. I think it's going to add a lot more competition between content creators, which, yes, that means content creators spending an exorbitant amount of money on the game. I think that is going to make a massive difference, and you're going to see suddenly content creator accounts explode as we're all vying to reach that top spot in RTA. Those of us who are further at the bottom are probably going to be a little bit victims in this case. Those of us who can't spend more money are probably going to die off ultimately, or just stick to making free-to-play content or non-RTA content, which, unless they add more to the game, is not going to benefit us. Not only this, I think in how we interact with each other, you're going to see a lot more competition. Currently, it's just, what can you do on your account? You're not really affecting my account. What can you do on yours to attempt to get ahead of mine? As opposed to with RTA, what it's going to be is, what can you do against my team, and what can I do to try to combat that right now and get at your team? It's a much more head-to-head gameplay. Think about a match of another esport like Overwatch or CSGO. You're going head-to-head against other players, and the way they interact with each other is very different from how we interact with each other when we're just attacking static things and we're not actually hitting that person in real time. I think this is also going to either attract or create much larger content creators. So like myself, I currently have just over 300 subscribers. Well, with RTA, what I think that's going to add is either a lot bigger content creators than myself flock to the game because it's building steam, or content creators like myself suddenly blow up in subscriber counts and view counts because there's just legitimately more value in what we're putting out. I think this is also going to lead to a lot more things like giveaways. I know there are plenty of content creators for Calibria that currently do giveaways. Spaceballs is another one. I'll link his channel down in the description below. I think you're going to see these things on a much larger level than how we currently see them. I think you're going to see a lot more of them. I think you're going to see much larger giveaways. Potentially even things like $100 rune packs or $100 Calionite packs. It's not out of the realm of possibility to see things like, a Razer phone giveaway or a mobile gaming accessory giveaway, a headset. They're not out of the realm of what could happen. I think with these, you're also going to see plenty of creator codes, creator packs, things that we're given from the developers to actually give back to the community, to kind of incentivize people to continue playing, continue having fun, and stay active amongst everybody. The next thing that I think RTA is going to change very much is how people approach the game, because RTA meta, for those of you who don't know, is incredibly different from arena meta. In arena meta, the team that you're facing is a defense team. That team is specifically set up to be as hard to kill as possible. That's what a good arena defense is. It's effectively, you can't kill it, and it's either going to stall you out and force you to quit, or it's just going to kill your team. That's what an arena defense is. But that's not what you're fighting in RTA. You're not fighting a defense, you're fighting something that is both a defense and an offense. So whereas as an offense, you wouldn't necessarily see healers, defense buffs as much. On a defense, you would. An arena team has to be both, unless you're talking about, you know, things like arena speed teams, in which case, depending on how they set it up, may or may not even be a thing. The RTA meta, at least if it goes down the route of how Summoners War went down, is going to be very much based on who can outspeed the other person, you know, who can debuff the other person, stuns, things like that, who can do those things. You're also going to see a greater need for Berserk runes. This was very prevalent in Summoners War, and this was something that a lot of people were hoping that they would nerf. And they actually ended up nerfing it about 6 months ago. But these were things that really helped the meta for RTA, was trying to get more turns than your opponents, trying to out-turn cycle them, to have more speed than them, things like that. These were part of the meta, and I don't see a reason why that would be any different in Calibria. I think you're also definitely going to see less priority on attack on a lot of units. This was also very prevalent in Summoners War. You would see attack type units who didn't even have an attack slot on them. What they had would be like speed HP or speed crit damage HP, or, you know, HP crit damage HP, things like that. These are the types of things you'd see. You would see a lot more tanky bruisers than you would see like cleave units, like super powerful high attack units that are intended to just go in, mess stuff up, and get the thing over really fast. RTA matches tend to not be that fast, and as such tend to require much beefier units. I also think you're going to find a much higher priority on resistance as you try to not get debuffed by the other team. I think that's going to be very prevalent, as well as, you know, cleansers and just debuffers in general. I think that people are going to see a lot of debuffers being used, especially for stuns, sleeps. I think the Succubus is going to be an incredible unit for RTA, unless she is nerfed for some reason, which I really hope not. I don't think she would be. But units like that, units that are able to incapacitate one specific troublesome unit, I think are going to be the most effective. I think that we're also going to see new units sometimes, because anytime you add a new unit to a game, especially a 4 or 5 star, that tends to change the meta as people attempt to find new teams to fit it in, and potentially when you release a new unit, it's overpowered a lot of times. So a lot of times what has to happen is they have to nerf that unit, but that doesn't generally happen in the middle of what normally happens with RTA, which is a season. In the middle of a season, you don't normally see things like nerfs or buffs. You don't see those, because that would affect what's already happening. What I think is going to happen is you're going to see additions of new units, rather than kind of like very sporadic like they have been, or every couple of weeks. I think you're going to see a lot of units being added at one time, or spaced out evenly, or just not as many units in general being added as they focus on other things in the game. The next thing I really wanted to talk about was balance patches. I kind of just mentioned this with nerfs and buffs. These are needed to maintain a balance amongst all the units and all of the players. Without these, you can have a single unit that pretty much guarantees you a win if you have the right supporting units for it. The goal of a balance patch is to ensure that that can't happen. Because for those of you who don't know, games like this are generally driven by either being 1, super competitive, 2, by being fun to watch, such as with SWC. If SWC, that's the Summoners War Cup, the Arena Cup, whatever, it's their tournament that they hold for each season. Without that being fun to watch, without the animations of the heroes being fun, without each different match being a different match, it wouldn't be fun to watch. They wouldn't get the viewership, they wouldn't get the monetary gain from that. So balance patches are needed to ensure that the game is still fun to watch as well as fun to play. If it is set up to where you have one unit and that is the unit that guarantees you will win, no one's gonna have fun watching it, because no one wants to watch an easy victory. You want to see that give and take, the underdog story, things like that. These are what you want to see, and if you don't balance things, that's not what happens. I think you're also going to see a lot of buffing of underperforming heroes. A really good example is the 4-star Fortune. This was just mentioned to me a little bit ago. He's a unit that could use a buff. There are also plenty of 3-stars that can use a buff. If I were to take a fair amount of the 3-stars right now and try to take them into Arena or into an RTA, if they put it in right now, I would definitely not be as good as if I were to bring an entire team of 5-stars. So I think that you're going to see a lot of 3-stars getting buffed to kind of help both newer and free-to-play players have some kind of a chance, or to open up the meta a little bit, aside from just, you know, these 5 or 6 5-stars that you swap 1 or 2 out every once in a while. And I think you're definitely going to see massive shifts in dungeon layer and arena team comps, especially when, you know, these balance patches come out. Say they nerf a flame spirit. Well, a flame spirit's very good for getting rid of the trash waves in a dungeon. If they were to nerf flame spirit or get rid of the ignore damage, you would see that swapped out and they would have to find something else. In layer, for example, once again, a really good example of ignore defense. If they were to take the Holy Swordsman and get rid of his ignore defense on his skill 1, that would definitely change up layer teams, because layer teams for speed teams are generally, you know, 3 supporters and like 5 Holy Swordsmen. A simple nerf on one of those units would cause that entire kind of team composition, the kind of standard for that team, to completely change. Even something as simple as taking a unit and changing it from an attack to an HP type and balancing out a couple of stats can make a massive difference in how that unit is usable, how that unit is able to be slotted into any team. And the final thing that's going to change about Calibria once RTA is added is it is going to make or break it. Gacha games like this, mobile games, are really only determined successful based off of their live action, their real-time arena, their things that are fun to watch. This is the main event of any type of game, in all honesty. You come because you want to watch people be good at live play. You want to see them strategize and be good against other players. This is what people come to these games for, and this is what causes a game to survive or not. If RTA does well, there is a good chance that this could end up being one of the next esports in the next couple of years. And if not, us content creators are gonna have to find a new hobby. Sorry to be a bit of a Debbie Downer at the end, but I just felt like this video was something that really needed to be talked about, because I haven't really seen other people discussing this. If there's things that you think I got wrong, please let me know down in the description. I feel like some of them I definitely might have. Just based on my previous experience with these games, these are kind of the changes that come with it whenever you add a real-time arena or a live arena or live attacking to a game. These are generally the changes you get. But like I said, if I got things wrong, let me know. If I got things right and you agree with me, let me know about those. If you're not sure, let's chat about it. Hop over into Discord, message me, go down in the comments, message me. I generally reply to every single comment, and I really hope that Calibria has a very successful future. I love this game. I really hope RTA does well, and I really hope that for years to come, I can make videos about this game. It's one of my favorite games that I've gotten into in the past couple of years, and I love making these videos. I love being able to chat with you guys. I appreciate so much that I am above 300 subscribers. When I was starting YouTube, I never would have thought that I even would have got 100. It was just kind of something that was meant to be done for fun. So thank you. And with that, I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please do me a favor and wreck the like as well as the subscribe button down below, and potentially ring that bell to actually get notifications of all of my videos. Hope you guys enjoyed this, and I will see you on the next video. Later.